All right, everybody, I am back. I don't know what's going on, man. It's same computer is messing up, but anyway, this stream, as you can see, the title of the video is Flat Earth Science. This time, I shouldn't have any mess ups at all, and that's just being real, man. But anyway, with Flat Earth Science, what I was saying and what I was showing is something highly important that I've been thinking about that I had not outlaid yet. And what it was to do with the act of not act but the essence of the swivel. Now I know that most people may not necessarily, you know, hold on, I'm pulling up something real quick, and I can tell that this thing it's like glitching and trying, like my mouse is lagging, and this thing don't do that usually. I can tell this thing on some weird shit. Now what I was saying was this stream is supposed to be about the science of the North Pole. That's what the flat Earth North Pole aspect. What you have here is the center of my work that I've been working on. Okay, uh, this is the very center of my work that I've been working on. Turn 90 degrees, but you have the center point is the focus. Every single one of them, as you realize, every single one of them has the same thing in the center. It has a square in the center. But with the Mandelbrot set, what the Mandelbrot set does, and this I'm not calling this a Mandelbrot set because it's not copying, it's very much different than Mandelbrot, but it's the underlying science of it. As you zoom in on it, you're supposed to be able to get more detail and see more detail as it zooms in. So that's why I, chose to do everything like I chose to do it. What you see right there in the very center is an 8-point star. Um, and I've been talking about the 8-point star here recently. Well, what I was trying to explain to people for the longest is that what makes my work what it is, and nobody made it in history, is the X that's created through the 1 and the 8 and the 0 and the 9. That's right here in the center, the 1 and the 8, 0 and 9, which swivels. This thing swivels, okay? Uh, 0 and 1 and 8 and 9 all swivel into the center like a magnet, like a door, swivels. Uh, some hinges are magnet hinges for, like for big doors and stuff like that. But that's just showing that right there. Now, this is what a swivel looks like. It comes out, you got different types of swivels, but this specific swivel to deal with the rotation, the 360-degree rotation of a chair. Uh, this right here is the base of a swivel of a chair. Mind you, there's verses like the footstools of Christ and stuff like that, and all of this type of stuff. So just memorize things like that. But you can see the X aspect just like you have right here. That's why I call it this science, because at the end of the day, I'm not talking about mainstream science. When I say science, I'm speaking about the fact that when I show stuff you can replicate and do this stuff, it's all based on experimentation, uh, things that you can observe and keep the data yourself and um, you know what I'm saying. Come to your own conclusions and build your own hypothesis off of what you know go through yourself, the experimentation you take yourself through. This stuff can all be experimented or experimented with. This right, and some things don't really need experimentation. It's just to answering yes or no questions. At the end of the day, what's in the center of a chair? The center of every chair has a pole. Well, not I ain't gonna say every chair, besides four-leg based chairs, but chairs like this right here that have I meant to say a rotating aspect to them, they all have to have a pole. But where is this pole located at? If you put a chair or anything that rotates around something 360 degrees, you can't put that pole on the side. You can't put the pole on the right, on to the left or whatever. Uh, you got to put it right in the center to create a balanced aspect. Now, the thing about this, that's where I'm saying, this is flat Earth science because that's highly important because that's what we witness in reality. The North Pole or the Northern Star is a center point which remains stationary, and it is a pivoting point, a point that remains stationary, but everything else circumnavigates around it, makes a circle around it, just like we see with the swivel. Uh, and that's what I'm showing that the numbers, the same aspect goes on with that. So at the end of the day, yeah, man, the definition of swivel itself needs to be comprehended. A coupling between two parts enabling one another, one to a coupling between two parts enabling one to move, one to revolve without turning the other. Okay. What does this sound like? Is that something that we witness on the earth? That's what I'm getting at. This is science being explained of how the ground level that we live on, answering questions about that. The ground level we live on, we witness stays on one stationary spot, while the plate above it um, rotates above our heads. So what I'm getting at is that I'm a very open person, and honestly, what I've been thinking about and speculating on is not just containing a flat something that has not been brought up to people. The aspect of a cylinder Earth. I'm not saying that we live inside of a cylinder, but I'm just saying, as far as cylinder, it'll be something I have to explain later. But that'll be something y'all have to think on yourself in the future if you hear this. But cylinder Earth is what I've been thinking about, because when it comes to plates, I'm thinking about the fact of not a dome necessarily above our head. If the things, if the what we call the heavens above us, if it continues, if it's a leveling aspect that continues to go up and go up, just like the chakra system, and then down as you go down, it continues to go down. Um, a plate above a plate. A plate can either be circle or it can be square, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be flat. That's all that I know. What you see right here is two plates. That's what they consider these right here is two plates. That's why I just read the definition of swivel and everything. Two parts or plates, um, because they do say plates with this right here with the swivel. That's what they call these is plates, and one of them stays stationary. That's the job of it, which would be the ground down here below, and the top up here would be moving around, which is what we witness above. And if you can microscopically consider yourself on this ground that's right here, you can see what I'm getting at. If there were some stars on the bottom of this plate, or there was, something about it that needed to be. But this is what we witness in our reality. And this goes right back to the aspect of the North Pole that I've been saying with my overlay, my specific overlay with this map right here, that people just looked over like it meant nothing. This was something highly important and so on point, to where it just isn't even funny. Where I laid my stuff on the overlay, every last spot, it landed at the end. It was like a portal type of aspect, man. And that was crazy to me. But this right here is what you see as far as the first, ancient North Pole map. Did I take the screenshot of that? Yeah, that's a right here. The mysteries of the first ever map of the North Pole. So this is the first. So if people feel like this map means something, I'm just showing from a deeper perspective exactly what the science behind it, man. The four lands and stuff like that. I'm showing so that like you see, it's the same exact picture. Um, and this swiveling aspect goes on right here within the sky. This is not information that people, yes, I already know, but I'm just showing it to, for people who don't know it. And like I said, this goes right back to the Australia aspect. I know I'm on point because what does Australia mean? That's what this Nazca geoglyph is called. It's called Australia, which is it means star. So literally, this stuff had to do with the stars. This is, like I said, the magic squares. 8-point star that you see right there is what I'm showing you. That's literally what you're seeing right there with the swivel. This is the swivel right here. And I told y'all that this right here is the North Star. That's what I said. The other two is the sun and the moon. That's what I said. This right here would be the North Star, the center point. Now, this right here is just like the center point of our reality. You know, if you can, this would be the North Star. If you get what I'm saying, this is the center point. So I'm just, triggering the, it ain't about the imagination. So you got to imagine to see some facts. know, man, you got to have an open, and this is just to show the translation. I'm not just making it up as far as Australia and star. This is basic knowledge, man. Stuff that when I say and when I use the words undebatable, this is what I mean to people who got a problem with people who say stuff is undebatable. At the end of the day, a fact is a fact, and the truth is the truth. Something that cannot be debated is something that cannot be debated. If it is open for debate, then that means that it's not the truth in the first place. Because if it is the truth, then you can't debate it, man. At the end of the day, that's why I stick and stand out with what I do as far as the numbers, because that aspect that I come from is from an aspect that the goal is to not have a whole bunch of room for debates. I'm coming for conclusive evidence. I'm not trying to be like everybody else. I'm coming for conclusions. And at the end of the day, it's not all about, somebody needing to be up here uh, debating and all of that stuff. When you showing facts, you showing facts, man. All of that other stuff can be a waste of time, honestly. A swivel, spinny, or revolving chair is a is a chair with a simple central leg central leg, like they say, that allows the seat to rotate 360 degrees to the left or to the right. What y'all hearing about a pole shift? Think about it like I showed y'all the pendulum. If we're living in a reality with something like that, with the pole shift aspect, the celestials above could restart and start spinning the other way at some time. And maybe when stuff starts to slow, like with time, and I ain't gonna. That's where I start speculating and stuff, and I'm not spitting facts 100%. But everything else I just said before, speculating right there. This is all 100% facts, dude. This is the ancient, for us in our generation. This is the first known map of the North Pole. That's a fact. Does it have 4 points or 4 extensions coming from it that everybody has been talking about before I've ever made this video? The very 4 rivers, the 4 aspect coming from it. A 1 central point, 4 plus 1 equals 5. Yes, it does. That's a fact. Have I been talking about the 8-point star? Yes, I have. That's a fact. Is this an 8-point star? Yes, it is. That's a fact. Once you rotate that 45 degrees, does this fit the definition perfectly of what a swivel is? That's a fact. If I were to replicate this with the flat earth and what we say is the flat earth and its science that's already been provided and uh, continue and amalgamated with what I live out in my life, the experience I have in my life. If I put myself on the bottom of this disc down here and I looked up at this right here that was spinning and revolving above my head, swiveling above my head, and it had stars painted on the bottom of it, would it look just like the reality I live in? That's a fact. I can't get around that. Um, and what I'm certain, this is literally, so if you look at this right here and then you think about what I just showed with this right here, it's almost like looking at the blueprint of how to create some type of energy machine. If you got the mind to even think about what the hell I'm saying, to create like a miniature Earth or something. Because the thing that I'm saying is this right here, this North Star, and then the sun and the moon is electricity and magnetism, central point right here. We got something we're talking about revolving So the electricity and magnetism will create some type of perpetuating motion of some sort. It will start something. Star, like I've been saying, star and start are related words. That's why the word star is within the word start. Uh, so that's just, like I said, this wasn't gonna be a long video, but I wanted to show people real quick because this is a hey, I sense this is a strong video, man, because this right here, that swivel thing has been in my mind for the longest. Like I've been saying, that's the words that I use and stuff. I use them for a reason. And when I say that I chose to swivel in, literally, I swiveled in 1 and 0 and 8 and 9 into the center. That's what I've been telling people. That's why with this right here is swings over. That's what it's doing. It's swinging over like that and swinging over like that. You know what I mean? That's what it's doing. It's swinging over like almost like it's been cut right there, and then the magnet, it gets magnetized over here to the other side. Um, that's what's going on with that. So yeah, man, I didn't want to make this a long video, but I did want to share that with y'all real quick, so that y'all can see it. You know, so yeah, KG, shout out to you. I'm glad you could hear me. The lone viewer, I appreciate you coming through as always, and I hope that you learned something from this one. But yeah, that's something that was on my mind today about the North Pole / flat Earth, center science aspect. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here and leave you go. All right, peace.